Are you looking for a wide carbon gravel wheel set that will not break the bank? Well, I have the answer for you in this review, so stay tuned and let's dive into it. It's time I do the review on my Aliexpress wheels. I've ran them for over 1500 kilometers, so here are my conclusions for these wheels. First of all, for the cost of these wheels, they are the best bang for your buck for wide gravel wheels you can probably get on the market. They cost me $700 Canadian shipped to my home, and then that's it. That's all. No extra fees, nothing. In the box with the wheels was included tubeless tape, so you can tape them and have them done. You can also order them without any holes, so that way tubeless setup is even easier, but I did not go that route because I want to be able to change a spoke easily if ever one breaks. I measured the weight of these wheels at 1337 grams, that is without any valves and any tubeless tape installed. That is a very lightweight set of wheels for a wheel that is 36 millimeter external, 30 millimeter internal, and 45 millimeter deep. On my initial first look and my first ride, I found these wheels to be very stiff, especially compared to the Easton EC90 ALX wheels that I ran the day previously. Now, I have grown accustomed to the feel of the wheels, and I don't feel like they bring a lot of chatter into my hands. Yes, I am running big tires, like usually 48 millimeter is the slimmest tire I'm gonna run, so that allows me to run lower pressures and be more comfortable on my gravel bike. And to my surprise, the wheels came with aero-bladed spokes. The wind performance of these wheels is surprisingly very good. I did some rides where I had winds up to 35 kilometers an hour, and sometimes they were on the side, and the wheels stayed very stable and didn't wobble. So I don't know what they did, but the wheel can actually run into the wind very, very good. To my biggest surprise, because we all have doubts on AliExpress goods, the build quality is amazing. When I went on my first rides, I remember I could hear the spoke tension settling in, and I could hear some ding, 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 ding from time to time from the spokes touching each other or rubbing, but after 200 kilometers, that all went away. And it surprises me because, once again, these wheels are inexpensive, so you're wondering if the quality of the components and the product is going to be lasting or up to your standard. Well, I've ridden into rain, some mud, all sorts of conditions, and I don't wash my bike after every ride, unfortunately, because on a 7-day week, I usually ride about 5 to 6 days a week between my mountain bike and my gravel bike. So the bearings are running super smooth in the wheel. Also, it is still very straight and true. So that tells me that they use somewhat of a quality components for the bearings. Although I ran these wheels on my local cross-country mountain bike trails and hit a lot of routes and stuff like that, well, they are still very straight and true, and the tension on the spokes are still very good. Now, I love hubs that have 6 degrees or less of engagement because that allows me to put the power down very easily. And these wheels are 36 tooth star ratchet hubs, which equates to a 10-degree engagement, and I find that is plentiful for gravel and road use. On a mountain bike, I might have a different opinion because we do a lot of technical climbing, but on a gravel bike, that is awesome. I have not had any issues with over 1500 kilometers of riding with these wheels. Tubeless has been flawless. Tension on the spokes have stayed very good. The wheels are still true. They're rolling still very fast. I don't even think about it. Although I don't wash my bike after every ride, I still wash it at least 2 or 3 times a week, and the finish on the wheels has stayed very, very nice. I'm surprised because I would have expected a cheap carbon wheel to have an issue with a gloss finish. I personally thought it would have faded, it would have been less clear, it would have become more scratched easily and all that stuff. Well, that didn't happen, so I'm very happy about that. They still look freaking amazing and like new when I properly wash them. Now, these wheels being 45mm deep, what I did is I actually bought some valves that are 80mm long. And I want to talk about the valves because they have 2 special tools on them which could be very useful on a long gravel ride or bike packing trip. I only use PD's valves, which I discovered in the winter when I was doing my fat bike build. And the reason I'm going with these valves on all my bikes is pretty simple. One of the valves cap has a tension tool for your spoke, and the other one has a valve core remover. So those are small tools that can be very useful, and when you have them on your bike, you don't have to think about bringing any or where did you store them or stuff like that. They're easy to find and they are right where you need them on your wheels. And this is not a sponsored post, just to let you know. It's just a product that I love a lot, and I find that the design and use of small tools like that is pretty brilliant. I'm currently changing the tires on the gravel bike to go from the Continental Race King 2.2 to the Continental Race King 2.0. I wanted to do those tires back to back to really notice the differences. But coming back to the wheels, because that's the message of this video, here are the wheels that I'm running right now that are 30mm internal width. Because what I want to do is I want to showcase the original wheel next to it so you can see the major difference there is between both. This is 21. Now, why would you want to buy such a wide carbon gravel wheel set? Well, it's easy. If you're running very wide tires, so 50mm and up, you want a wider wheel for your tires to be less like a light bulb shape and to be more flatter with the side of your wheels for aero gain, and also to get better support and better use of the tread when you're riding at lower pressure. These wheels you can order hooked, hookless, in various depth and also in various finish. So that is for you to make the decision how you want these wheels to be on your bike. I personally went with a 3K and gloss finish. I wish I would have went with a UD matte finish because I find gravel bikes look amazing with UD finish and matte wheels. So am I happy about these wheels? Damn right I am. These wheels are light, they're fast, they stay straight. The quality of the components is up to par. Although I've already put over 1500 kilometers on them, they still run amazing and like new. I actually recommend these wheels to my friends instead of buying NV or Zip wheels and all that stuff. And I tell them, save your money and do something else with your money. Go on a trip, have fun with your wife, do something else. I'm actually gonna buy a second set of these wheels. With the money that I saved, because buying the Zip Explorer wheels would have cost me about $3,500 Canadian, and these cost me $700. So the $2,800 difference there is actually a budget that I saved on the side because I want to do a special gravel bike build. I want to get a super basic gravel bike with mechanical brakes and stuff like that, and actually build it up to make it a proper and superb gravel bike. I want to go through that building phase because I think a lot of people start with a cheaper gravel bike and then they have a tendency to sell it and change it just to get a little bit better braking and stuff like that. So let's try to see if we get a basic gravel bike, what we can actually achieve with it. The new bike that I want to buy is currently under embargo until June 26th. It is a alloy bike with the same geometry as my Trek Checkpoint Gen3 SL5. And it's going to be super basic. Mechanical brakes, it's going to have 10-speed cues shifting on it. It's all that stuff. But I want to try first of all, a basic bike, have a review on that bike, and also do a build, because that's what I love to do. I love to build bikes to actually make them more performing and have even more fun on them. So a set of wheels like this will be purchased this winter to put on the new bike. And also, just to let you know, the new bike will also be able to take 50mm wide tires. So stay tuned to know which bike it will be. If you're looking for a wide gravel wheel set that is somewhat aero while using big tires, I think you should look into these wheels. This is not a sponsored post. This is just me sharing my experience and my knowledge that I gained while using these wheels. I hope this review was helpful if you're looking for a wide carbon gravel wheel set, and I wish you enjoy the thrill of your rides.